Hey, Peace Nation. It's Karen Denise with you again. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for coming back, fam. Anyone that's new here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please subscribe. Come and join our family. We are a peaceful family over here. I know that lately I've been doing some videos that are different from what I'm used to doing. I will continue those videos as well. But this is one of the things that I do to bring peace to myself. I started this picture, to those of you who already know, a while back, been waiting to decide what else we were going to do with it. This picture is made out of epoxy resin. That's resin that takes a while to cure. But what we're going to do today to finish this picture off is we're going to go back to the method of using UV resin. For those of you who were here when I did my cup, y'all saw that I did what is called a dragon scale technique. Excuse me for one moment. Let me get myself situated. We're going to do that on this picture as well because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. So we're going to put the UV resin on this picture. Remember, Peace Nation, what I told you. I want to show you how you can do artwork for your own home where you don't have to go out and buy somebody else's art pieces, and it can be, well, anything you do will be one of a kind just to your liking. So I'm going to take this. Oh, let me show you this first because this is very important also. Resin, when it cures, especially if it's sat for a while, you can't just bond something else to it without roughing up the surface. So I took this sanding block. This one is an 80 grit, and I scuffed up the whole surface. After I scuffed up the surface, I took a baby wipe. These say that they are 75% alcohol, but what I did was I took my 99% alcohol and poured it on them to make it even more pure alcohol form. What that did was I cleaned up the surface so that there's no extra dust. Now, this is our UV resin. I had poured some in here. I'm going to put it on the canvas with this brush. And what I wanted was, because I like this piece like that, but I thought something was missing in the middle. So I'm going to put this in the middle. I'm just going to brush it. I mean, you could, I could have taken a pencil or something and drawn an actual design, but I didn't want to do that. I really want this to be as random as possible, where it's not touching these pieces. It could. That wouldn't be a problem. But I really just want something in the middle of here so that we can do the bubble technique on here. So I'm showing you that you can do the bubble technique on almost anything, actually, and just get a one-of-a-kind piece. Now, I want you to stay to the end watching this video because remember I told you some time back that once we got to 200 subscribers, we were going to do a giveaway. I will tell you more about the giveaway in the end. Now, this is important. This is UV resin, okay? But do you see the bumps? I'm trying to show you in the camera that it's lumpy. It's also important that your surface is level. So I did level it. I have a little level here. I leveled this table, leveled this onto the table. But now I can see that that is not evenly distributed. So I'm going to just put a little more. And I'm going to spread it out some more. Now, this is a hard type UV resin, which means that it basically almost stays where you put it, which is good that it's not runny. But I also don't want it to be lumpy. So I'm going to do something else, which I should have gotten before I started this. So just hold on one moment. So I went and got my long net lighter, if I can work it, and I'm just going to go over this surface. What this will do is it will not only pop the bubbles in this resin, but it will make this resin also even itself out. Don't want to stay in one spot because you don't want to burn your resin. Definitely don't want to burn your canvas and what you already have on it. Resin is highly flammable. So you want to be really careful when you're doing this. So let me show you what I mean. See how you can see a difference now? There's not as many bubbles. There's still some over here. So I'm going to go over that real quick, like not leaving it in one spot, constantly moving it, letting it burst those bubbles so that we don't just have extra bubbles on the canvas. Okay, so remember this part? I have a bowl. In this bowl, I have water and I have dish soap. It's that simple, in a straw. I'm going to blow. A lot of bubbles. Now, I don't want it to be so small of a bubbles, but here is the important part. I'm going to take this large spoon. I'm going to literally just put the bubbles on here, if I can get it to act right. Of course, it wants to give me a hard time on camera. Let's blow more bubbles. The more you blow, the better. Okay, let's see. Now that's better. Those are big bubbles. That's what I want. Do you notice I'm not going into the bottom? Remember what I told you before? You don't go to the bottom because you don't want water. You literally just want to skim the top, get the bubbles off. Oh, this is so hard today. I don't know why this is going so hard today. See, I'm not going to cut this out of this video. I have a hard time editing, for one, but because I want you to see that you can fix mistakes. Just keep blowing. No, don't put any extra water. Just keep blowing, putting the bubbles on the canvas. Never scrape the bottom because you don't want that extra water. Resin and water does not mix. Just scoop them off, put them on, let them fall where they may. I can't cure this yet because, as you remember, when I cure it, the bubbles will cure on it. It could be big bubbles, it could be small bubbles. You just have to pop them. I mean, like this is the hardest part of this, is getting the bubbles the way you want them. I'm trying to cover every place that I put resin. See, the bubbles pop quickly. So I'm just trying to get it on there. I'm going to do something else to it. So I know this looks funny now, but I think especially those of you that are new will appreciate the way it comes out. The bubbles on, pop that big one, drop some more small ones down there. Okay, that's going to be good because we don't have to have, like, it's just a random pattern. Now, I'm going to take this UV light. Some people think this is a nail art light. I'm going to put it on top and I'm going to cure this resin. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm curing the resin under the bubbles. As you can see, I'm moving it around. You don't have to cure for a long time. This process is a lot more forgiving than you're going to actually think it is. You just hold the light over it. You usually hold the light over it for about a minute. Because what's happening is that through the bubbles, the resin will cure. I can actually sit that on there because this is flat and I don't have resin back down here. So I'm not worried about sticking my light to the canvas. I'm not putting a big design on this canvas. I'm basically doing something small just to show you this process. Okay, while that's doing that, you don't cure it for a long time because you need for it to still be a little tacky for your powders to stick to it. And that should be good. Let's see how that looks. Take a paper towel, you wipe the excess off. That's what you do. Oh, I like that. I think you're gonna like it too. I'm gonna show it to you in 1 minute. Let me just get this excess water off. It's still tacky. See that? Look at that design that's on there. Okay, so I think that's good. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna apply powders. Right here I have this piece of foam, but the reason I have that is because this is my brush for applying the powders, and when I go from one color to the next, I can just sample it on here and get it out the way. I'm going to move this water because I don't want to spill it. Because yes, Karen is clumsy sometimes. Okay, so what we will do now is we will take our colors. This canvas is already blues with gold and white. I want to bring out my gold and my white mostly. I have from Let's Resin. These are color shift. So they're really pretty. Let me show you. This is my white. Let me do it over here so I don't drop it on the canvas. That is a pearl white. And this is my gold. I want to mostly do them, but I also want to do my blues because this canvas is blue. So I have different options for blues. I have several options for blues, actually. All of these powders are by Let's Resin, and they just have a pretty sheen to them. So because I'm a person that has to feel what I'm doing, I'm going to start on this canvas, and let's start with the white because I really want to bring my white out on this canvas. So find a spot, look at that. See that? Put the white down. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And I just want there to be a pretty whiteness going through it. And I'm starting with my lightest color on purpose. And I'm just bringing some white over this whole design, just here and there. There's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. You're really feeling what you like when you put it on the canvas. Now, you might say, oh, that's a lot of white, but you'll see what'll happen after a while. That's more than enough. I'm going to move that all around. I want to see if you see the difference, like how you see the design now. Look at how you can really see the design now, popping through that white. Okay, so I'm going to clean my brush off, only because I don't want to contaminate another color. Put my cap back on my white. I'm done with that. I'm going to go to one of these blues. And let's go with this blue. This blue is called Sky Blue. I think I've used it. I've used it. So I'm just trying to be careful with the way I go into it. I don't want a lot of this blue, but I want to put it in spots. Because I don't really want to take away from the white. But see, I'm just going around the edge of the whole thing. Just the edge. That's a blue there. Now, I'm not going to put a lot of sky blue. This is messy. That's why you have to keep a paper towel on hand, because this is messy. Clean the brush off again. And go into a different blue. This is just blues and gold and white all over the top with this design. And I don't have to have a spot that I have actually chosen to put it in. I am literally just whatever I feel like. That's the way art works. Art is how you feel about a piece when you look at a piece. Oh, I'm so messy tonight. Shouldn't have kept on my work shirt for one. Okay, we've used that one. Let's go over to this blue. This blue is called cyan. Oh, I love that. That one, oh my goodness, I love this one. That is so pretty. But I don't want it all over it. Like I said, we gotta still keep a lot of the white in here. So, since we want to keep a lot of the white, I'm gonna go right to the gold. See, I didn't even clean my brush off from the blue because I don't even care if there's a little of the blue in with the gold. Just putting gold here and there, just so you can see that there is gold in this part as well. Okay, I know y'all probably saying, oh, Karen is so messy tonight. I'm feeling like I'm messy tonight. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the trash can and I'm going to dust this off. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if you can see a difference. Look at that. That is so pretty. Well, we're not done. I dusted it off. I took a wipe and I went around all the outside of the resin that I already had on here, right? So now we're going to embellish it some. Now the way we're going to embellish it is going to be different. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do, but it's going to be a different step. It's not going to be with UV resin because UV resin needs the light to penetrate it. What I'm getting ready to put on here will not penetrate through the UV resin. So I'm going to check my level again. We're good. So my level is still good. I put it back where it belongs. Now we're going to use epoxy resin. Epoxy resin can either be mixed 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 ratios, depending on what resin you're using. The resin I'm going to be using is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. This is the brand. Everything I use can be bought on Amazon, okay? So I'm going to mix this. Oh, now listen, when you're mixing epoxy resin, you really should have on a mask, a respirator. I have one, but because I'm waiting to do this, and this is gonna be a quick process, and I'm speaking with all of you, I'm not going to use a respirator, but please, personal protective equipment is very important. I do have my air purifier on. I have a fan on, so this should help with me not being affected by it so much. I also will have this in a room that's separate from where I sleep or where I sit and watch television and things like that, so I'm not really worried about it. But just give me a moment. If you notice I keep putting you on pause and then coming back, I haven't learned to edit yet. Yeah, we'll get to that one day. Somebody will reach out and help me with that. But anyway, neither here nor there. I'll be right back. I meant to tell you that epoxy resin usually takes 3 to 5 minutes to mix. You will know when it's completely mixed after the 3 to 5 minutes because you won't see any strings in there. Like, see how that's not really clear? It turns clear. Of course, with some bubbles. Now, I'm mixing this too fast because I'm mixing this for the video. I would not mix this fast normally because the faster you mix it, the more bubbles you incorporate into it, which is not good for your project. Okay, so I mean, you have to go through steps to get that out. But anyway, we will get it out. So I just wanted you to see what I was doing. Understand you must Scrape your sides, scrape your bottom, scrape the item you're using to mix with, because you want to get it fully incorporated into itself. Okay, so I know the board looks different to you. So what I done while off camera was I went ahead and I put down some stones in the dark blue. I used this glitter. I bought it at Walmart. I used this finer glitter, also from Walmart. I use these mixed colored white flakes that have the blue and actually a little bit of pink in them as well. And I put them on my board. And I did that because it would have taken so long to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stick, now that my resin is mixed, and I'm going to go over it like this. I'm not pouring it right over this. I want it to seep in and soak that to the board, the resin that's already down here, because epoxy resin and UV resin can be used together just at different points. They will bind to one another because they are a resin. So I'm doing this like this because I just need for it to drizzle over it, to let it seep in there. I think I actually did a little bit too much resin. I'm very wasteful sometimes when it comes to resin. Unfortunately, I have not learned to measure to know what is enough. Yeah. That's with a lot of things in my life. People say, yeah, you don't know when enough is enough. Some people on my channel have said, I don't know when enough is enough, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm drizzling that on there because I want it to set that in place where it is. Resin will move and do what it wants. Like, I want you to pay attention. This gold that I put in here, I actually only used a little bit of gold. But gold is something you have to be really careful with. Gold, for some reason, will take over any piece that you do. So, now that I have that there, I need to get the rest of this canvas covered because I don't want this to just be a lump in the middle. Like, I don't mind if it sticks up over the rest, but I need this whole board to be covered. That's why I sanded the whole canvas. But because I'm going to have to use my hand, I have to make sure I put my other glove on. While I'm doing this, let's talk about this contest. If you would like to win this piece as well as the other one I'm going to show, all I need you to do is in the comment section, put Living Peaceful. That's all you have to put. You see how I'm going around these rocks because I really don't want to cover the top of them because there's mirrored glass on here. And this glass will actually disappear in the resin. So you have to just go like around it now that it's set on the board. But I'm going to put this around here and then I will pour what I will need as the rest on here. I have a plastic piece down, piece of plastic down on my table because I will be able to peel it up off the table. So I won't be messing my table up. Now here I can just pour it. You have to be really careful with this resin as well. Resin sets up fast the deeper it is in the container. So I really should have divided this, but right now it's okay. Now I'm just trying to get a layer on the whole board. I don't mind if that piece protrudes because like I said, I really wanted it to pop anyway. I wanted this to be more 3D than just flat. So let's see if that's kind of not enough. This is an 8x10 board. Generally, you use anywhere from 3 to 5 ounces per quarter. Like if it's a 12-foot square canvas, you would use 3 to 5 ounces to cover the top. I didn't need this much because I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was not trying to make the level flat. I'm going to take my finger, I'm just going to rub to the edge, trying not to go over the edge because it'll start going over on its own. But I'm just trying right now not to go over the edge. Anyway, like I said, in the comment, if you'd like to be in the contest, to win this piece, which will be randomly chosen by a comment selector, I need you to put hashtag peaceful living. That's all you have to put in the comment. I'm going to leave this video. I'll come back to it in 4 days. Let the comment picker choose the winner, and then I will inform y'all on a video who the winner is. Now, when you win, the only thing you'll have to do is contact me by email, because my email will also be in the description box once I give the winner out. And you contact me, I will send this to you free of charge. That means it costs you nothing all the way around. I'm going to leave this for a couple of days, and I will come back, show you what it looks like. If you win it and you don't want it, that means that you really shouldn't have entered the contest. Give somebody a chance who really would like to have the piece. You come to your edges, you wipe them. You can tell if there's any on the edges because it won't feel smooth. So you see what I'm doing? Now I'm coming, bringing it over. If I feel like it's not moving enough, like see how I can see on my board there was none on that spot. Now resin pulls into the middle, but it's important to know that resin goes where resin has been. So even when it pulls, it's only going to pull to where there's already been some resin. Only way it would pull to the middle completely or over the side completely is if my board was uneven. That's why you level your board out first. I want to get this done real quick because I want to show you the other piece, because really it's 2 pieces. One I've done before that y'all have never seen is going to be something else that could be 1. So I want to make sure that there's enough on here where I'm covering this board. Not so much that I'm worried about the hilly part. I just don't want there to be any blank spots, because I want the piece that y'all get to be very nice. Okay. I won't be able to show you this, but I'm going to come back every 15 minutes or so. I'm going to go around the bottom to make sure there's no extra resin just sitting there. Let's move this back. Don't want the resin flowing and this sitting and this sticking to the table. So I'm going to take my long neck lighter because I don't, pull this off. I don't want to put resin on that. I don't want, see, I can see that. See, as soon as I put the lighter on it, I saw a spot. Sometimes you have to get down to look at it. So let me just quickly put some right there, because I can see there was a void there by putting the light on it. This is popping the bubbles as well as allowing me to see if there's any voids. See, there's a void there. I saw it real quick. Let's get it. It's right in here, right in there. Now, if I was smart, I would have actually had 2 things. 1, my apron on to protect my clothes from resin. Okay, that's a problem. This is my work uniform. Good thing I have a bunch of them. Okay, so, yeah, because these pants are ruined. Now, I'm going to get down, I'm going to look, I'm going to see. Don't see anything, we're good. So once again, Peace Nation, all you have to put in the comment section is living peaceful. I'm sorry, hashtag peaceful living if you want to win the piece. Now there's another piece, so it's 2 winners. I made this. It's 3D. Turn it to the side so you can see that the rocks actually protrude. And this basically is like a desert ocean type deal. Like, I really think of natural motherland with this type of piece. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please come back. Like I said, if you're new, subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you at the family. I will be doing another reaction video. I know a lot of you have asked me to do another one. That is coming soon. Right now, I want you to stay at peace. I want you to stay blessed and have a great night. Love you.